Have you ever seen a blooming tree or a field full of flowers buzzing by bees? How do bees find these resources? Do they find it by chance, or do they have some magical way to communicate with each other and share information with each other? What gives bees the power to hoard immense amounts of nectar and turn it all into honey? How do bees orient, and how do they find their ways home? Well, these are some of the questions that gave Carl von Frisch, an Austrian ethologist, sleepless nights. And for the research that he did in this regard, earned him a Nobel Prize, along with Konrad Lorenz, who was from Austria as well, and Nico Tinbergen from Holland. Von Frisch, in the 1920s, discovered that bees use the sun as their primary orientation tool. And not only do they use the sun to find their way home, but they also evolved and developed a complex set of movements, often referred to as dance, that allow them to communicate the location of the resources with other bees in their colony. We differentiate between two kinds of dances that bees do. One is the round dance, the other one is the waggle dance. Both dances take place in the core, in the center part of the colony, and the purpose of the dances is to recruit other worker bees and point them to rich resources. As the forager bees come back out from the field, they go to the center of the hive and they perform their dancing act there. The round dance is used to describe that there is rich food within the immediate vicinity of the hive, within about 50 or 100 meters. And this dance itself is pretty straightforward and pretty simple. It is a rapid succession of whirling and repeatedly clockwise and counterclockwise directions. Let's take a closer look at the waggle dance by switching to the drawing board. For resources further away, bees will have to communicate the direction and the distance of the food source. Bees describe the direction of the resource relative to the sun. If it's towards the sun's direction, they point upwards. If it's to the right from the sun, they divert to the right from vertical. If it's to the left from the sun's direction, the dance points to the left from vertical. Here's the comb, and here's the frame it's hanging on. In the center of the colony, a worker bee that just returned from a tasty blooming bush indicates that the resource is about 45 degrees to the right relative to the sun. After the waggly move, she returns to the starting point clockwise and performs the dance again. Then she returns to the starting point counterclockwise to repeat the waggle. The angle of the waggly runs relative to a vertical line provides the information on the angle of the food source relative to the sun, while the length of the dance indicates the distance. Research shows that 1 second of waggle corresponds to about 1 kilometer or 0.6 miles. Now, let me show you some actual videos of bees performing the waggle dance. The first thing to notice is how her sisters around her pay attention to the dancer. Every cycle has roughly a shape of a figure 8. In this example, the waggle part of the dance is horizontal, which indicates that the food source is about 90 degrees to the left from the sun. If the angle is 60 degrees to the right, the bees will be flying 60 degrees to the right from the sun. Is the waggle dance effective enough, you may ask? When we see bees dance, there tend to be 3 to 6 bees watching the performance. Let's say the average is 4. Not that many, you may say. However, consider that those who are watching decide to join in as well. And when they come back, they start recruiting other bees as well. In the second round of recruitment, we'll have 16, the third 64, the fourth round 256 bees. And in just as few as 8 rounds, the colony mobilized over 65,000 bees, exceeding the total number of bees in most colonies. Sophisticated communication skills make it possible for bees to build a community that behaves in more complex ways than any single individual. Isn't this truly magical? Thank you for watching.